this series of videos, I want to be very meticulous. So I hope you'll be patient with me, and as I go along, you'll find this interesting. Thanks again. Having succeeded on this, I'm going to take a similar approach. I took the tail from that Falcon kit, and that's going to go on here. And you can see here, this underneath piece comes all the way out to, you know, right about here. And yeah, you can see the demarcation there in that piece. So I'm going to mark that. I want to try to keep this curve right here intact, which is this curve here. So I think I'm going to come back to just before there, so right about there. Then I can mark it. So then I just marked off those pieces and cut the ends off with my razor saw. Then cut out that section in the tail of the fuselage, and then fitted those pieces in there, cleaned them up, shaved them down, and got them to fit. All right, and then don't forget this tail hook needs to be, you know, straightened out. So it's kind of this way. It needs to actually be straighter that way, as you can see here. It's not up against there. So I'm probably going to cut that off and straighten it out. What I did is to hold this top open, I took a little piece of you know, leftover styrene like that, cut it to size and stuck it in there, and that'll hold that top open to the right position. So I'm going to glue that top piece now, and then I will clamp it from the bottom. Then I fit it and glued it with the Tamiya thin cement. All right, there we go. Got a fresh coat of the ultra thin super glue on there, and then once that dries, then I can buff that out, and then I'll clean up that separation between the rudder and the bottom there. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Let's see how this piece looks on here. Yeah, I may have sanded this down just a little bit too much. But I have a feeling once I put the ultra thin glue on there and it melts a little bit and I squish it against there like that, it should be good. See, this one's much cleaner and nicer. This one has a gap ever so slightly right there. And I'm hesitant to sand anything any further because it's nice and smooth right here. We'll see how that goes when I glue this on. So I put the ultra thin glue on all the surfaces and put it together, and then on that side put some more on there and just held it in place. I'm going to leave this tail hook until last, but that's going to go something like that. Another thing I wanted to do is test how I can build this up. Now I put a little bit more of the microcrystal clear on there. Now I'm going to hit it with future floor wax and see if that helps or hurts or how it reacts. You know, I generally hit the whole model with this anyway, but I airbrush it on. Here I'm just brushing it on. We'll see what happens. So let that dry, see how that looks. All right, just got home from traveling for work all week, and let's see how these, ooh, that looks pretty good. Let's see on this one. Yeah, I like that. It's nice and smooth and shiny. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm liking this technique. I think it's going to work. Hopefully it'll come out good, but we won't know until the very end. So. Okay, so I finally have that fuselage done underneath and in the back, so I can proceed with finishing up all the panel lines around the bottom, on the sides, and then all the little pieces and parts and markings and holes and everything else. So basically just laid those out from my map, what I'm calling my map, and marked them and then scribed them, and then, you know, picked the right tool, worked on matching everything up, and just worked my way around the bottom, up and down the sides. Okay, hopefully you can see that. You can see I brought that door down onto the extension. basically ran panel lines along the edges here, and then brought all the panel lines on the sides down to that. Put some detail in. Whoops. Put some detail in here, some detail back here. So same thing on the other side, and then also that nose. I think this is a good stopping point. I want to get a mail call in here, but I'm happy with the progress. So, basically the fuselage is done. I'm real happy with how this came out back here. Now, next time I'll start with putting the decals in there and then putting the cockpit on, so to speak. Mail call. I got a Christmas card in from old Tom, Rambler 69, and awesome pillar of the community, first Christmas card this year. I sent one out to him, and I've sent a few out to a few modelers from, as you know, I contribute to Commemorative Air Force. They send so many cards a year, so I send those out first, but I've ordered some cards supposed to come this week, and I'm gonna, anybody who sent me a card, so pretty much if you're up on that wall, you're gonna get a Christmas card. And anybody else who would like to get a shop card and or Christmas card, my email is always in the bottom of the description. So thanks, Tom. Merry Christmas to you and to everybody. So with that, once again, thanks for watching and happy modeling, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.